Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I don't think it's even morning for any one of us right now because it's 12, it's 8:20, 8:30 now. Okay, well, for some of us that will be watching this recording in the morning, good morning to you as well, and happy Easter to every one of us. I hope we enjoyed our Easter holiday. Some of us rested, some still had some things to do. So it's been a slow day. I know for some places the market was open, but it was quite slow, except for oil that I posted today. Yeah, I saw that major movement. I was telling everyone that I'm actually anticipating oil to get to $66, and that's exactly what happened. Because remember, guys, I was looking at that. I'm just gonna show that before I begin this session tonight. I was looking at that inverted head and shoulder because we got the head and shoulder from this part. This one, this is the one we traded down to this level, and it created this inverted head and shoulder. So I was looking at this playing out and taking us all the way up to this level, and exactly what happened. I actually entered a trade from here. I think I got kicked out at this level. I left it because after, you remember, how I trade. When I get my trade in, I would move my stop loss in. So I got kicked out and I left it alone. I got here as well. I had this trade analysis that this was going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. Trade came in. I was picked into the market and I moved my stop loss in, and this came in and took me out. I was too close. If I'd known, I probably would have kept it close. But it came in and took me out. Then the next one I did was this one right here. I think somewhere around here was when I saw the main inverted head and shoulder, and I took that in. Yep. Oh, I think this was the one that took me out. This was the one that took me out because I entered at this level. Then this took me out, and I left it alone. I think I took another one at this level. I took another one somewhere around here after I went up, and price came in and got so close to my position, and then bounced. I got out somewhere around here. I presume around 63 or 65 or thereabout, but it just kept pushing up, just kept pushing up towards just trying to complete that inverted head and shoulder that we saw. So I believe maybe it's long coming. It may drop anytime soon from this level, but it's not, that's not written on stone, because if you look at this overall trend, it still looks quite um, bullish. This might be um, bouncing here and then bouncing and then break, and then you see, I would have thought this would break and then reaches and continue down, but as it is, it's still pushing to the upside. So it's possible that it can push all the way back to the $75 level. So for me, I'm not looking to trade oil anytime soon. I can't take that risk. So I'm just gonna let it sit on the side and just watch it do whatever it wants to do. It may drop from here to the down level here before pushing up, or just continue dropping. But whatever be the case, if I'm gonna take oil at all, I'm gonna let oil break to this level to give me more assurance, confidence that this is going to be a good trade. Then again, what can possibly happen is oil could come to that level and then begin doing something like this, then giving us another head and shoulder so that we can have that trade to continue to the downside. That's possible as well. So again, I would look for a trade if oil breaks this level, but then I will enter the trade protecting myself just in case all of this happens. But if all of this happen, if I enter and I take a loss here, I'm gonna wait for it to climb up. Then I'll look for an entry yet, because that will confirm to me, give me a level of confirmation that it's gonna form the head and shoulder for me to take it back down. That would be another massive win if I can get an entry up here. But right now, I'm not looking to buy oil anymore or even sell it anymore. So I'm just sitting down on the sideline now and just watching things. So first of all, go straight to what I wanted to show you. Look at how the market has been from Sunday, bank holiday. So it's gonna be like this, slow. I thought Tuesday would give us some red folders, but as you can see, it's empty. There's no red folder. I think majorly from Wednesday we'll start seeing some major movements in the market from Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is where I will start to really. I'll be looking at the market as well. Be looking at Tuesday, because there are some times when you don't see red folders and the market moves really well. So I'm also going to still be looking at the market, but my main money will be on Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays to look for good trade street setups in those days, because of the few red folders that we can see, a few interest rates news, a few speech here and there. So those ones are things that you have to look out for as you trade. For some of us that trade the news again, so you can also leverage that opportunity to trade it. Some that don't trade the news can sit down on the sidelines, and just watch how things unfold and then trade the aftermath. Okay, so straight up to the charts, because I don't want to take this. I don't want this to be too long. I hope I'm recording this. Yes, I am. So first one on the chart, if you remember, guys, that I was looking for this sell on this AUD JPY. Fantastic trade. If you guys look at it, sweet. Because for some people that have been following me since for the past how many years we've been here, you know that we've been trading this guy. We've been eating up and down, sell high, buy low, sell high, buy low. At one point it came down, but it didn't come all the way down to where we wanted. Came back and took us out of the trade, and eventually came down and then pushed to the upside. If you followed my trade when I was still using the black, blue, red backgrounds, you would remember me us trading this pair. So that happened, and eventually price broke out. I don't know what happened in the market for AUD, and price broke out of that consolidation to the upside. And I remember I told you guys that price eventually needs to come down to that level to give us a good opportunity, that I will not be selling at that high, because it's too high for me to sell at that level. I'd rather wait for it to come down to possibly test the top of where it broke out of. It's just really price action. We always expect that to happen anyway. So yep, as you can see, price came back to that level. Although it came low, it didn't go too low, come too low, and then pushed up again. As you can see, it has come down. I think I've been kicked in, because what I tend to do sometimes, because of the, sometimes if you put it at this level, sometimes it just comes in and leaves you behind. Remember, for some of us that remember AUD, NZD, that bounced and left us behind. So some things like that can happen. So yep, so I had mine pushed a little bit, but who knows? It may still push down further before. I don't like red in this. It may still push down further before the final push to the upside. That's possible. That's what I'm really expecting to happen. But I'm not really expecting this to do this. That would be daylight robbery. They'll probably be trying to use this to rob people of their trades, because they probably know people will be selling at this point, and that this would have just been stop hunting, just for you to continue to the downside. That would be really massive daylight robbery. So I'm gonna be selling this, but also having my stop loss in place just in case that happens. So I'll know that I won't be beaten too much. But again, even if it happens, I'll look for opportunity to sell it, because this would be a good sell. Remember that this is a good range. Let me see how much it is. Take this out. Yep, it's a good range, over 200 pips. So this is where you'll be looking for a trade right now. If you're not here, you can put your sell limit here. Is close by, to look for that to take you to the upside. That will be your first TP, and then you can also enlarge that to see where it's gonna get to. If you can look for another opportunity, which would be that level. Why that level? Look at the higher time frame to see. You see, so that's the next available level. Let me see. Yeah, I picked this level because of that touch and that touch and that touch. That's why you see that level. So this could be a good level for you to look at as well. This level here, so we could ignore the other one, but I actually really picked that because of this place that stood out. Or you can pick all of that all together. That could be a range instead of just considering it as a level. So that could be a range for you to look for trades at. So all that, if it breaks above that, then this would be your next level. So that's AUD, JPY, Aussie yen. The next one is Euro, Swiss franc. I know, guys, you guys were following me when I gave this street setup, because I gave it from this bottom. So took that street setup. I'm still in it, to be honest, really. So took it from this level, saw that move coming here. I took another one, told it's going to bounce and then retest that level. And then that happened. And I saw that, what's it called now? Flag happen here. I showed you that as well. And then all of this were all, then when it got to this level, this high, I thought it was too high, that it was going to start coming down. Why? Because that was like a key level that I identified from the, from the get-go. And what happened, price actually got there, reacted and dropped, and out of nowhere it pushed out. Then I said, okay, it's going to come down to that level and push. What did you see? Exactly the same thing happened. Price came into that level, and now, as you can see, it's pushing up. Right now, our next street level is this level right here. So if you're not yet in this trade, you don't have any business buying or selling this, it's in the middle of a trade, just let this come to key level so you can look for a sell there, either sell back to that structure, or possibly if it continues to remain strong, it will push above and then take you to the next level. So, but the next available level here, I would say let's look for it here first before we start looking for other high levels. Okay, yeah, that would be a good place to look for that one, and then possibly the next one would be this one. So that is if it keeps pushing up. If you guys remember as well, I was really looking for that head and shoulder to play out. For some of us that entered this with me, we took that sell and it came down and then eventually decided to start going up. So I thought that was going to play out. But as long as this is still within this level, that head and shoulder is not invalid yet. That's looking at it on the weekly. The weekly head and shoulder is still quite valid. So if it breaks that level, I'm going to be looking for that retest to bring me down. But at this moment, we are trading that double bottom at this point. In fact, triple bottom, if you will. So that's what is happening right now. So this may push to that level that we see, and then you can start looking for a short sell, possible short sell, for it to keep going up, or a short sell to that level. But price will definitely tell us what it wants to do when it starts moving. So if it gets to that level, this is where you start looking for your own trade. You can start looking for maybe like a rejection or some form of double top. So double top would tell you, okay, it's gonna bring you back down. Or for some people that trade it as an M, so you know that it's gonna keep push you down. But if it breaks above, so look for some form of retest of that level and then look for a buy to the upside. So that's AUD, Euro Swiss franc. AUD USD. Am I looking at this trade? I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore this one. There's nothing. Or do you see? Let me see. Still in the middle. Still in the middle. So I'm just gonna ignore it for now. Euro NZD. Same thing here. Same thing, guys. Remember that trade? We looked for an entry at this level. As a buy limit got triggered, and then price pushed down a bit before pushing to the upside. So initially, I was saying the general direction of this trade was this double bottom, so that price can take us back into that blue zone. Yep, because of that double bottom. That. So, and that is what was playing out. Then I was using the smaller time frame just to show you give you small wins. So we got an entry here. Price push. I expected price to push up to that level before a reaction, but then it didn't go that far before reacting. So my first level here, I think, okay, my first level was still here. Actually, this was one of those risky trades because I was so sure of it. I stayed in, and price did what? Price came in so close and then continued. I got an entry here, I got another entry here, I got several entries, but I think I closed all my entries because of that massive drop somewhere around here, because I expecting price to get here and then start dropping. Yep. Sometimes you don't, yes, you already have this big picture, but sometimes the way price will behave will make you start doubting that it's going to keep happening. Yeah, again, but that doesn't really matter, because if you've made a lot of winnings in it, every win is a win, even if it's £50 or $50 or whatever. Every win is a win in the market. You don't have to, even if it doesn't give you 1,200 or whatever in the market, just take whatever you can. You can always, know what price is going to do. So we saw all of that movement price. So I thought price was going to get to that level and then drop before pushing to the upside, but then it dropped to that level. Then I put a line beneath it and expected that reaction, because I had seen that reaction and expected price to bounce off through there. So because of that reaction, I got an entry there, and then price pushed up again, just kept going, and then that massive push to that upside, which was really really good. And yeah, price came in, and right now, as you can see, it's forming a flag. So right now, what I'm expecting, this is another level. This is where we are right now. So this may be what's maybe happening right now. You know what that means? That's like a flag or a triangle, what have you. So we're expecting price to break out of that level and then continue to the upside. But again, if I wouldn't really be wanting to sell this market at this point, just looking for buys all through for this market, because it still looks bullish to me. Every you can see it for yourself. It will have some deep what's it called now, pullback, and then push up, deep pullback, and then push up. So that may be the next point of action right now. So just look for your trade, or they're slowing down. So that tells me that it may begin to drop, because that's the same thing that happened here. It starts slowing down, then you see that drop and then push up. So it may just begin to drop a bit, then possibly push to the upside. But I'm really looking for buys on this. I'm really going to look for a strong push to the upside and then retest of that level for me to look for my buy. So that's Euro NZD. How are we doing for time? I think I've already used 16 minutes. Um, A AUD NZD, same thing, guys. Same thing. Looking for that trade. Yep, then I didn't get that trade to come from the bottom, but because okay, I don't want to keep explaining this, because this has been happening. This was something I showed us the past few weeks. We expected that move, to happen at this level, but this didn't happen. And then we said, okay, if it breaks that level, it's going to come all the way down. And then I did break that level and then came, but it didn't go all the way down like we thought it would. But yes, it came down anyway, like we thought it would. And then what happened? It bounced to the upside, and then we saw that we missed that entry, because I had my own buy limit at that below here where you saw it. So I missed that entry, but then this started forming. So I said, okay, guys, just look for a breakout of that level, because the flag is forming. And then yes, what did you see? Breakout. And what did you see again? A retest, and then price pushed up. So I said, okay, look for another buy limit at this level. That's what you see. So it's now pushing up again. So at this level now, you see a breakout, see a retest. So this is the same thing that we saw on the Euro NZD. So possibly that's your retest happening, for price to push to the upside. So you might actually find a trade at this level. Though you see, all of this is possibly because of the bank holiday. That's where you're seeing all of this choppy, these tiny candles happening. Not much movement in the markets. Okay, so let me just take this thing out of the way. It's getting in my way. Okay, so that's that one. So your trade is somewhere around there. Look for an entry. Look for a good move, because it's at a good level, I would say. So you might possibly want to see price come down to that level 1.06700. For you to get a good position, or if you want to jump in from there, but then you have to protect it. Have your stop loss in place should it come down. But if it goes up, it looks really really neat. It looks really neat. Some of this level could be your key levels of TP, but the major one that stands out is this one right here. Let me put a line so you can pick that up. Let me take this out. Excuse me. Take that out. So that's your level. That's what looks okay. That's the level. So that's the one that really stands out. You can even look at this level as well if you want to be careful, so you don't stay too long just at levels. But yeah, price reacted around them. So well, look at this one already. It's already happened. So I would say this one is already, it's already close by here. So that's something else I might also want to factor in. Yeah, but I think um more biased towards the upside for this guy. So that's another upside for. So we're expecting NZD to keep dropping, and AUD to keep pushing up. So that's AUD, NZD, GBP, AUD. Yep, this one as well. Double top is what we were trading here, and then price just kept going up and down, up and down. I'm still very strongly biased towards the downside for this because of that double top. Although it looks, as you can see, it looks like what's it called? See the movements. You see that move, the drop, move, the drop, deep drop, no new highs, and then what did you see? It dropped. So the one would think, okay, it's ready to come down. Then what did you see? Pushed up. Some people would look at this and say, this is definitely coming down. Why? Because it didn't create any new high. Didn't create any new high. You will see this as one and double top, and then this is what happened. The same thing here. Price kept pushing up. So right now it's here. So the general, this might actually be what is happening. That's possible. Excuse me, let me make it so it's not too rough. This might generally be what's happening for price to do this. Why? So that it can push to the upside. That may happen. Yep, price to continue to the upside. So that's that bullish flag, or that what's it called now? Double top that we were expecting to trade is still in play. But again, we would not always know what price is going to do. We're just going to trade it as it occurs. Right now, it's in the middle. It's in the middle. There's nothing for me to trade. I'll start looking for a trade at levels, price break and retest that level. That is where I'm looking for a trade. Or price comes down, break and retest. That is where I'm looking for a trade. I'm not looking to trade anything in this level, except you guys want to scalp you. So you can always drop down to your smaller time frame and then look for the short wins. So what that one, those ones, you probably just put lines on top of these levels and then watch for price to break above them, either break below to retest so that they can come to that level, or break above to retest so that they can take it at that level. Yep. So those are the things you'll be looking for. But generally, this is still affected by Brexit, so you have to also be careful. Now, this one, I was looking for this to drop. So unfortunately, I took a trade at let me see. Yeah, I took a trade at this level. I wouldn't say it's a wrong decision, bad decision, because as you guys can see, if you agree with me, the top, drop, top, drop, top, drop. So one would expect, okay, when it gets to that level, it's going to drop. I think I actually took, I took an entry here, expected this to continue down, and then what happened? Price kind of pushed to the upside. I let it go. Then I looked for an entry here for price to drop based on all of these movements, top, 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 and then what did you see? Price pushed up. So it's not every time that we would win at the market, in the market. So we just allow price to keep going, doing what it wants to do. I was really, remember what we were really expecting. If you look at it on the weekly, this move, we're expecting price to come because of that bounce, that bounce, that bounce. So I was expecting price to come down, back into that level, to come back to bounce off that level before making this move. But he actually made that move without bouncing off that trend line. So it's all good. Right now, we don't have anything to trade. Our trade is in that level. Right now, let price come into that level. That is where we start looking for trade down, because I would not expect price to push. That would be a very strong movement if price is able to break above that, because look at all of that, since when last time it broke into that level was in 2010 was the last time it broke into that level. So over 9 years ago. So it's come back to that level now. Came back to it in 2015, so coming back into it now, I'm expecting that level to be strong enough to hold it. So if I can get a sell at that level, beautiful trade, beautiful trade. So that's one level you guys will be waiting, looking for trade your sell. So just look for, I'm gonna wait for price to come into it, and then possibly have two buy limits, who knows, sell limits, sorry, maybe one here and one here. No, but definitely we'll be looking for a sell. I'm not looking to buy this, even if it breaks above that, possibly will be a fake breakout, for it to continue down, yeah, but that's not written on stone. Anything can happen. It could just possibly break above that and then continue all the way to that. Okay, I think the first place we can start looking for, yeah, would be this one here. Yeah, that would be the best one because that's the first. So that one, and then this one, and then that one. So guys, watch that. Watch this particular trade. Watch it for that level. Again, price may just turn back from here, but if it turns back from here and comes in, so just look for that move to the downside. Yep, just look for that move to the downside because it may not necessarily get to that level before turning back. So just look for what your own trademark, your sell is not here because there's nothing for you to confirm that you're supposed to sell. But here is a good place because as you can see, price has been bouncing off those levels. So those are the areas. This is the area you'll be looking for sell back and then back into that consolidation. And then if it breaks out of that, okay, I think it will coincide with that trend line for it to bounce again. Possibly from there it may bounce to that up. Or if that doesn't happen, then you can see a break. And if that breaks, sweet, and take it back to that down that I was expecting to happen here. Yep. So, but keep an eye on that one. Keep an eye on that one. I think that's also a function of the dollar as well. The dollar index, the dollar might sometimes also have influence on the USD Swiss franc as well. So as you can see, guys, this is also pushing up. If you guys remember, I saw that coming from here. It hadn't even gotten there when I knew that I was going to get there, and that was a perfect entry. It came down and then pushed down a bit. I knew it was going up again, and then what did you see? It pushed up from there as well, although it gave a little bit of drawdown and then pushed up. So right now it's still pushing up. So expectantly it may just push up to that level before doing that again and then possibly just keep going. So yeah, but so that's what to look out for in euro, in the dollar index. Okay, which will affect this one, possibly affect USD, um, USD yen, dollar yen, and a bit of dollar card as well. So but that's Swiss franc, USD Swiss franc card yen. I'm gonna pass that one. Yeah, another one is USD card, dollar card. See, guys, I've been looking for that it to keep moving. Yeah, I know I haven't been drawing this, but this has always been my bias for this move. That's what was expecting to happen. In fact, I just drew this lane. I was expecting this. I expected this to bounce, but I didn't expect it to push in this deep. I knew it was going to bounce, but I didn't think it was going to push this deep. Then I expected to go up, but I didn't also know it was going to push this as far as this level, but it did. So that's why I actually had to identify this last level. So right now, it's pushing down. So you don't have to trade this. Just let this come because already in the middle, almost halfway. So unless you want to do that and then you look for that retest and then bring it down. But where your trade really lies is here. This is where you need to look for a trade at the bottom here, or if price goes back up, then you look for a trade at that level. Yep. So I won't trust this level. Let price come all the way back up, somewhere around there to look for a trade a sell back down. But this, because of card, may just continue down, and then from there bounce again, and then from there continue. But if it breaks that level, we're going down, or if it may break it at this level. So all of these are all biases, what is possible in the markets. They may not play out exactly as I said. Some of them may move before they get to the level. Some may get to that level and pass it a bit, push a little bit in before, but based on price action, that is what I'm seeing in the market. Yep, that is what I'm seeing in the market. Okay, euro, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore this one. But if you see a push, we expected that to break, retest, and then drop. Or what did you see? A push. So now it's pushed, retested. So one would say they should push up. If you're following price action, they should push up back there. But I'm not gonna put my money on it because this may just do that and then continue to the downside. But if that happens, maybe that will be your trade. This may just be that bearish engulfing candle to give you that pullback so that you can sell it back down here. So that may just be what is happening right now. Remember what we trade, so but I'm not gonna touch this guy. Um, you know, but let's see how it goes anyway. Swiss franc yen. That was some. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that was some move. This one was some move. See that drop. I expected this to happen. When it started dropping based on that. What's it called? This analysis that I gave using this pattern. I expected that drop to happen. That drop happened, and I said, okay, maybe it's gonna keep coming down. Then it refused, and then pushed up. And then out of nowhere, and I missed all of this. I don't think I took any of this. I don't think I took any of this. But anyway, this is where it is at the moment, broken down. So if I look up here, I would say that this may actually continue to push to the downside. Good, good win if we can get, if it continues, because this looks really, really good. The bearish move is really impulse, is really, really strong. So that may continue to the downside. So let me see now. So right now, if I was in this one, probably would have taken an entry here and retest, and then. But right now, because of all of these holidays, I'm just gonna sit on my hand or possibly put a sell limit back into this level, waiting for price to come back into it. Maybe when it opens fully on Wednesday, possibly Tuesday, I can see my price push me down to the downside. So sell limit somewhere around here. Yep. Which one again? Which one again? Yeah, I've looked at that. This is a function of this one. So it means that if as you can see, sometimes, remember, I like to say that it's not every time that the dollar index will move with the euro. Look at this. Euro is going up. The dollar index was also going up. So let me see it on the daily. So I don't cheat myself. That's the daily. This is the daily. Okay. Okay, so that move. Yeah, this looks yeah, somewhat. Well, you can't say that it looks similar, but I have two candles here that still looks. Let me see that. Okay, possibly you can say that it's similar. This move is because that engulfing candle dropped here, the engulfing candle pushed up there. But this has two small candles here. This has two strong candles here, so they're not entirely mirror. Although, yeah, they move together, you know, most times. But so I still have to be careful because currencies have individual personalities as well. Because also bear in mind, although you have USD, you also have the euro. Also, that also has impact on the euro dollar. It's not just the dollar index that has impact on the euro dollar. The euro also has impact on the euro dollar. All right. So that said, this is where we're at as far as euro dollar is concerned. It's in the middle of a trade. So your trade is where on top here and below here. If this continues to the downside, and right now it's seeming like it's I think let me just increase that. Seeming like it's trying to form like as you can see, come on, seeming like it's trying to form a flag, you know, flag so that they can continue to push to the upside. So your trade is not in the middle of a trade. Your trade is not in the middle of a trade. Your trade, because it's too close to the top anyway. So your trade would be to wait till price gets to that level. So this will be where you start looking for opportunity to sell the market. Yep. So start looking for opportunity to sell the market. Let me see on the higher time frame. What am I seeing? Yeah, that's a strong level. As you can see. So price may get to that level again and then push back down. So right now you could wait for price to get to that level, then you can look for your sell back to that trend line. And then if for some reason it refused to go up, comes back down, so you're looking for your buy back to that top. And then if it breaks below, you have to be careful because you've seen something. You see how it broke below here, so back to that level. It broke below and then stopped halfway and then continued to the upside. But I think I'm more particular. I'm more biased towards the upside, that happening, and then I'll look for my sell back down here. Yep. So that's okay. That's okay. Looking at that for euro, for the dollar index. It's pretty much the same thing, for this. So if this continues, this may just do that. If you say it's a direct mirror, so you can expect this to happen, for price to push to the downside. And then, so your trade is not, again, is not in the middle of a trade. Your trade is here. If price pushes down here, this is where you're looking for a trade. If not, if price pushes up here, this is where you're looking for a trade. Yep, but not in the middle here, except again if you're scalping. Okay, stay free, stay free. I need free, I like free. Okay, which other one am I looking at? Two. I think I'll look at two before I call it a night. Euro Aussie, another good one. So also saw that happen. I saw this happen. That I was expecting that to happen, but I wasn't in the trade anymore. I left it out. And then all of this kept happening. So right now, this is pushing up again. So may push up to that level. Your trade again is in this level because the move has already begun. You should have entered at this level, but if you didn't enter at this level, then you don't have any business taking the trade at this level because it's already almost here. So look for your trade at that level, and then sell it back down. Or if it kind of push back down, you can put a buy limit here and then stop loss below your previous low for price to take you in, because that would mean this is your stop loss and all of this is your TP, your profit. So better, but if you enter at this level, buy at this level, it means this is where your stop loss will be, ladies and gentlemen, and this is where your TP will be. Which is better? This is the worst trade ever if it goes against you, because you're losing all of this, risking all of this just to make this. All right. So your best bet is to allow price to come to that top stop loss a bit somewhere around here, excuse me, somewhere around here, and then TP all of this. Yep. So last one before we go for tonight is NZD card. Sweet trade, sweet trade. If you guys were following me, if you follow me in this trade, we were looking at this trade. Look at it. Yep, this is what we're looking at. Saw that tap, 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 tap. We expected that to happen, and then it stalled somewhere around here. It stalled, and then out of nowhere, price broke out to the upside. We were not, dismayed. We waited for it. We said, okay, this may actually be a spring for price to continue to the downside, and as you can see, it really seems that way. So price sprung up and then pushed to the downside. So we said, okay, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to that. Let me go to the daily. I'm trying to get a good view. It's gonna come down to that level, and then when it comes down to that level, it's gonna push back up, for a further drop. And yes, it came down, but it didn't come all the way down here before pushing back up. As you can see, it came down, then pushed back up, and again continue to the downside. So my trade is I'm still in this one as well. My trade, although I think I closed the second position, I can't remember. So, but I'm still in this one. My trade is I'm looking to trade this all the way down here. If this thing is good to me. So, but as you can see right now, if you guys can see it, this was the consolidation. It's now breaking the consolidation. So what you can do now is to set your sell limit in this level. Set your sell limit at that 0.89260 to 65, and then look for stop loss somewhere around there, and then look for price to continue down. Looking for price to continue. That's why I said NZD. I'm expecting NZD to keep dropping, meaning that Euro NZD, I should start seeing some bullish movements in these ones if every other thing remains equal. So that's that one. NZD card trading will be at that level, a break of that level, or stop retest of that level. I think is happening right now. first one already happened, retest, so it may come back up again. Already broke and retested, and then it's dropping. So, but I'm gonna do another selling maybe, because sometimes you see that this happens. Price just does this and then comes back into it before continuing to the downside. So that's your trade. So NZD card. So at that juncture, I'm gonna say thank you guys for listening in and watching this recording. I will see you guys on the other side. Happy trading.